Okay, back again. Just in reference to that last video, we are just looking at NQ and waiting for a potential kind of pullback sell down to yesterday's RTH low. So we've got liquidity at 605. So I'm going to note that in my footprint chart for now. ES has a lot of liquidity still below, so it kind of adds confidence that we're just kind of grabbing a little offer or ask liquidity before we dump down to bids. Seems to be running kind of slow, so might just get rid of CL because I'm not trading that today. 6E won't be trading that today. So I don't have market by order on currently. I'm just seeing if I can live without it, because the icebergs info is not the edge you think it is. It's only really useful when you see abnormal iceberg amounts at major swing points, which is kind of rare. And I think you can determine the swing points using market logic anyway. So, and market by order only gives you the stop info after stops have been hit, which is somewhat useful, but it's not night and day. So I'll just note this big, somewhat persistent level at 603-ish. And it's around about where I wanted to sell anyway, which was kind of here. It will be demo. If you refer to the last video, I'm not trading live futures this week because of rhythmic issues. But I will be trading this just on my spot account. Probably concurrently, just doing it on my phone whilst describing the trade if it occurs. So liquidity was where? 603. Just mark that out. I expect that will be swept. Oh, good. So the imbalance is there. I've got unfinished auction here, and another kind of imbalance pool there. So let's say, for the sake of argument, we're going to do 3 E-minis. We'll try our best to be accurate, but we might average into this, scale into it. Usually I do one fairly aggressive and then add on when I see it's confirmed a little bit better. So we'll just wait for that. And I'll go on mute just while I'm waiting. So this is kind of a dry run for streaming again. Just kind of getting used to recording, see if there's any lag issues or whatnot. So hopefully it's okay. But yeah, we'll just wait for now and I'll go on mute. So what have we got around here? Quite a confluence area. We've got a weekly point of control, 9-week high, 2-week low, and 3-week close and 2-week open. So that's all kind of in my broad sell area. I think that was the unfinished auction, wasn't it? 633. Yeah. So this auction is unfinished, so it may go above there. I think it will go above this kind of trend line as well. So I've got a kind of sell area running from 605 to 640. Right. Targets RTH low, and we'll leave some runners to unfinished auction at last week's low. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll post it anyway. Again, don't shit on me for demo trading, rhythmic issues, blah blah blah. I'm gonna take it live on spot as well. I'm using IC Markets. I'm not affiliated to them. I'm just a kind of long time customer of theirs. Never had any issues. Obviously, it's the CFD contract. It's called US Tech, and the prices are different. But if you refer to the last video I made, basically the turns occur at the same time, so you can work around that. So, you know, quick initial reaction of VWAP here. It's a clear kind of bear trap because we've got liquidity up here, which will almost certainly be taken. it's a near certainty will sweep above this, right? So you can use that as your kind of reclaim level as well, but I think it can go as high as this unfinished auction, so patience going to be required on this one. Anything to note at the moment? Little delta divergence there, no big deal. I mean, obviously it's trying to reject VWAP, which I don't think it will, given the liquidity here. So I'm going to be multitasking and trading through IC markets on my phone, as well as this demo futures trade. Essentially, it's just to show the logic of the setup. So if we go to M15, what do we notice here? Some hidden divergence on RSI, which I quite like for momentum plays. It's the only time I use RSI is for pro momentum hit and hidden divergence. It's literally the only time that indicator comes onto my chart. So you can see it's making a higher high, as this is not making a higher high relative to this peak, which is representative of this swing high. So it's the one and only time I use RSI. It's very, very rare that I pull that out. It's a lagging indicator, obviously. It's just, I think it's quite good for divergences on momentum plays. And I could live without it completely. It's totally unnecessary, but it's just a little extra kind of confidence thing. So we'll do, let's say 3 E-minis. And like I said, I'll do one fairly aggressive and the other 2 more conservative. You see in general bullish volume is declining, so you know there's not much conviction here. Also, just a general note on why I've been slow to get streams and videos up since I've been starting back. I just wanted to make sure my equity curve was smooth, first of all, after quite a long break. I did a lot of mindset work during that time as well, just to kind of identify some flaws, things like you know, FOMOing, things like that, jumping the gun, all that sort of stuff. Holding to logical TP was something I've been working on and managed to overcome. Should probably get some VWAP boundaries on here quickly as well. Apparently they're there already. Yeah, they're there. So you can see a lot of liquidity on the offer. Aggressive sellers pushing it down off VWAP, no surprise. Too early for me. You see it's just swept a little bit there. Possibly to push it higher, possibly. Little high volume node here may support. You could even scalp it up, but you know you wouldn't do that on VWAP. It just doesn't make sense. So what's the plan? Wait for the sweep first. I think that's incoming. So it might be some large liquidity grab style candle, you know, like quite a big pump. Usually sweeps are like that. And then we'll watch that candle and just see how it behaves. The candle's in relation to it. Now, we may get a quick sweep and reclaim, in which case we'll have to just act very fast. I'm just preparing my I'm gonna trade spot on my phone. US Tech. So let's try to find that. So with, you know, spot trading personal funds, you can, you know, you don't have to worry about dollar cost averaging, you know, trailing stops, all that kind of stuff. You can be a bit looser in your trading. What I like to do is split into 8s and scale in. So in my mind, dollar cost averaging, I know there's a big controversy over this on Apex. I think they released a video on it this morning. I haven't checked, but in my mind, DCAing is a totally legitimate way to trade. Essentially, that means adding to a losing position, right? But it's just scaling, right? It makes total sense, right? Like I do it all the time. So if your prop firm doesn't allow that, and denies payouts for arbitrary reasons like that, dollar cost averaging is you know, it's more of an investment term. I've never come across it before in trading. It's more of I think it's been mathematically proven a good way to invest, just to basically spread out your investment over time. It's quite a big slip down already. I think it's too soon. I don't like it yet. I've got my alert at 602. You know, that's where the liquidity is anyway, so selling it now would make no sense to me. So that to me is quite a smart trader who wants to sell around there, because it's right around an imbalance. It's probably a single print. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the profile. But we can go as high as the 640s or 630s. So we'll just have to be very careful here. You know, Could you scalp up here? Not really. I mean, it's a kind of today's momentum down day. So it's not even though we've got liquidity here, it's down bias to me until we get to the RTH low from yesterday. You know, people will scalp, but I like to like have a plan and stick to that plan. Otherwise, you're just taking, you know, you're in a purely reactive state, and that's not good because you'll just be at the whim of whatever neurotransmitters are flowing. You know, fear, greed, dopamine, cortisol. It's not a good state to be in. You want to be in your logical frame when you're trading. So if we miss it, we miss it. It's not a big deal. We'll catch the buy later. There's trades every day. See, there's kind of a little high volume node here, which may support. Sorry, I was speaking on mute there. I was talking about the plan. We're going to target below this RTH low from yesterday, probably around the 411 mark. Got a high volume node there. Probably will leave a runner to the unfinished auction. Trend lines, like why do I draw these? It gives you an idea of like implied liquidity, because you don't see all the liquidity on CME, right? You get a part of the picture, which is good, but a lot of liquidity is hidden, whether it be through icebergs or just in the retail market. So it gives you a good snapshot, but it's not the be all end all. So you have to be thinking about where the liquidity is implied as well. So I'm looking at that as a kind of breakout trap. You know, traders may see this and think, time to break out, and you know, I may be wrong, but we'll see. Right now it's like a little supply zone, right? You'd probably call that a supply zone. But I don't trade price action, supply and demand anymore. Used to use it, and it's okay pro trend because it's very similar to like market profile ledge trading. It's kind of similar, right? So waiting for that final up thrust. liquidity grab incoming. That was a lure from VWAP. So eventually this will be back to streams, but trading is always at your own discretion. Okay, don't copy me ever, please. Just for educational purposes. Still got to run this liquidity. So I'll probably trade my spot trades more aggressively than the futures trade, right? Because if this was a live futures trade, we have to be cognizant of DCAing and, you know, trailing stops and whatnot. So I'll try and be a little bit more precise on the futures trade. So the plan is 3 demo E-minis. I would not want to be trading off this trend line, which is where that liquidity seems to be. So I would want a higher draw up to here somewhere in this box. That's my sell zone. So just for interest, I'll tell you when I'm putting my spot trades in as well on US Tech, which will probably split into 8th. Looks like it's about to spike up to me. Just another point I want to make is a lot of people see Bookmap and think it's a strategy. It's absolutely not. It's just extra information that you can use to your advantage. I think it's very good to have either the DOM or heat map. Heat map is good because it allows you to identify the more persistent levels, because there's a lot of spoofing, which is hard unless you're highly experienced to recognize in the DOM. So yeah, it's got plenty of liquidity overhead as well. So you want to have some market logic and some good like confluence levels before you just go, you know, trading any old liquidity. But you know, it won't work for you. And a lot of people dismiss Bookmap because they try to use this only as their only tool, and that may be possible for, say, a tick scalper, but if you're an intraday trader, probably not going to work out for you. But that said, I think it increases my edge quite dramatically. Market by order is really cool. Is it worth what they charge? You know, it's adds an extra 1 or 2% edge. So I think, yeah, it's just tapped into the liquidity, didn't absorb or anything. Indecision candle. I want to see a sweep. I want to see a, you know, explosive move up. basically aggressive buyers are having trouble getting above this big player at the moment. I tend not to trade off of like I don't front run. You could if you want, but it's not my style. If it just front runs, then so be it. I'm not interested. Quite high volume in this candle. Usually confusion will be created around VWAP, right? They'll want to make you think it's either supporting or resisting. So again, it's not a standalone thing you can use really. First deviation is up here in my upper sell area. So I'd love to see it hit this high above the unfinished auction. That's kind of the ideal. Just a reminder, these are just imbalances on the footprint. Quite a lot of aggression coming in. Could just be sweeping some bids on ES. I'm not totally convinced yet, to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like how it's just bounced off a trend line. That seems really sus to me. I mean, huge, huge volume, right? Sweep. No, that one's not for me. Essentially absorbed. Right, that's an absorption, just about. So that liquidity is still there. You know, have we missed the trade? Time will tell. I suspect not, but looks like a lure to me. But I may be wrong. Certainly a very high volume sweep. I'm starting to think this sell-off might be on JOLTS, so I might just make this a two-parter. And we'll come back for the actual sale. I think that makes sense, just so we're not dead air. But yeah, you know, I want a bit higher than this for the sale. It may or may not happen, but I've got to stick to my rules, right? I suspect it will. Yes, this is kind of a liquidity C. It's kind of indistinct at the moment. Quite a lot of people in the market today. Lots in the bid lower down. Could we have scalped that? Yeah, I mean probably, but it's not. It did kind of meet setup 3 criteria, which is just momentum plays, but I just don't like that we have this untested liquidity here. Whoever's selling here may want drive into that, and also it just seems like a bounce off a trend line, which I don't really like. So it would only have been for a few points. And I like to catch bigger swings, you know. On NQ, I'm not interested unless it's at least 50 points to 200, you know, something like that kind of range. But yeah, I'll be back for part 2 soon.